Hey everybody, welcome to Kiki Loves Nigeria. Hey, on this episode of Kiki Loves Nigeria, we're going to talk about something serious that's going on in Ghana right now. Well, this started back in February. It was an African American man whose house was demolished. The government went in and just tore the whole house down. And after they tore the house down, whatever was left, they looted it. So that's what we're going to talk about in this video. So what brought this situation to my attention was Miss Patricia Strickland. She had wrote in the comment section, she said, "Hey Kiki, what's your opinion on Ghana demolishing African American homes? You are a roaming reporter who gets the real tea. Please investigate this. Thank you." And that's exactly what I did. So I kind of got the story, what was going on and why the government went in and just looked like they just tore down the man's house. There's actually a reason for all of that. Okay, in this video, there is a lady who says she's driving in Cape Coast, Ghana, and she happens upon a scene. And this scene is a lot of people standing around, and she sees someone's house being torn down. So she gets out the car and she asks, what's going on? So people, there are telling her that this man is an African American man. He leased this land for 50 years. And now they're telling him that this lease is up and that this land has been resold. And they are now tearing his house down, and whatever is in his house, they are taking possession of that. The man is there. He has a red shirt on, and when he was asked by the lady, she was talking to him, she asked him, did the government let him know that they were going to take his land? And he didn't really give a clear answer. To me, that would have been yes or no. He just said he wasn't there. So he had just gotten there. So I don't know what that means. I don't know if that means he knew, or I don't know if that means he didn't know. I'm just not sure. What does that mean when he says he wasn't there? Because when I worked for the government in Cameroon, we had to do this sometimes. Even the government in the United States, I did it, when I worked for them, and it was called eminent domain. If the government felt like that land could be better used, even if it was privately owned land, if we felt like that land could be better used if it was owned by us and it could be used by the public, then we would do that. We would take the land, and it's called eminent domain. So I don't know if this land was taken by eminent domain, but it sounds like the government took it because they felt like it could be put to better public use. However, we did have to pay the people. We did compensate the owners of the private land or the private property, whichever. We would compensate them, for what that land was worth. When I worked in Cameroon, we didn't compensate the people. I don't remember them compensating people, but I've heard now that they do compensate you. I don't know about Cameroon, but I heard in Nigeria, when they tear down your homes like that, they will compensate you for your land. Again, I don't know if this was the case in Ghana. I just know that this does happen, and it happens for public use reason. So the government taking the land doesn't shock me so much as him saying he couldn't give a definite answer whether he was notified. Because like I said, even when I worked for the government of Cameroon, we did notify the people. Remember I told you guys about when I had to walk up, take a taxi, then walk up a hill, and then walk down the hill, then get on the canoe, and then go across the canoe, then go up another hill, and then go to the village to notify them of a change that the council had made. And if you didn't make this change to your property was going to be demolished. So we made sure the people knew. And the government in Ghana is pretty advanced also. So I'm going to say that I'm sure the government notified him. Whether he took it seriously or not, that I don't know. Because he probably felt like, I've been on this land less than 50 years. I bought this land. I own this land. You can't come take this land from me. But that's not the case. Even in the United States, if the government wants your private property, they can take your private property. They can, people. Again, I told you, it's called eminent domain. The public use overrides the private use. All right, so let's watch this video, you guys, and you tell me what you think. Do you think he wasn't notified that the house was going to be demolished? Do you think he knew that the land had been sold and that the government was taking the land to build a hotel, a resort? Do you think he knew all of this? Or do you think he was totally surprised? Again, I think he's surprised that they actually did it. I think he's surprised that they actually came and tore down his house and took his property. I don't think he expected them to do that. And also, if they give you that notice and you don't adhere to that notice on that date when they come, not only are they going to tear down your property, they're going to take whatever they want. And that's not called looting, because at that time, that property belongs to the government, and whatever is there on that property belongs to the government. All right, so that's my perspective on what happened. Let me have you guys' perspective. You guys fill me in on what you think happened. But first, let me add this part, because this is something we often do not understand. The local government is totally different from the federal government, and they don't work together like we do here. Some of them work together, but some of them don't work together. So the local government can do one thing, and the federal government can do something totally different. That's why when you get married to a local, you have to go to a federal registry, because the local government is totally different, and sometimes they don't follow the same stringent rules and guidelines that the federal government follows. So this headline says, African American houses demolished by Ghanaian authorities for hotel resort allegedly. Americans build brand new houses built on a 50-year land lease. The land was sold by local government official without notice, and building materials were stolen by the locals. So let's check out the video and see what the video reveals. And you guys give me some feedback and tell me what you think. This whole situation is extremely unfortunate, and I feel so sad for this man. But again, you just got to be careful with what you're doing. You got to know the rules. Because like I said, this could have happened to you here. Just like what happened there could have easily happened.
So this is Cape Coast. Not quite sure what's happened. They've just come and knocked somebody's building down. Just like that. That is crazy. So apparently the people who sold the land to him are saying his lease is up. But we all know he hasn't been here for as long as they're saying. They're saying 50 years is up, but we know he hasn't been here for 50 years. And people are here looting it. Like looting what they can out of the building. This is so sad and so tragic. And you know, if this person who owns this place has been treated unfairly, then there really is no justice in this country. And that is tragic. This guy whose face I'm not going to show. He's saying that he had the guy who owns it had a 50-year lease. And then the MCE, who is a government official in this place, has sold the land and has just turned up and is knocking the building down. There he is, the guy in the checkered blue and red. That's the MCE. Absolute disregard for justice. If this is how authorities act in this country, then we're really in trouble. This is so bad. So bad.
And look, they're trying to steal our roofs and the sidings and stuff.
So what, they just turned up, no notice?
This morning they turned up. I wasn't here early.
Hey, why are you taking that? Excuse me. Hey, why are you taking this? I got your picture. Who told you to take this? Are you secure? Are you with them?